Hi y'all, it's Margot from Just Living Life YouTube channel. I wanted to let you know that you're getting ready to watch a video about 5 pages or websites to help you attain your weight loss goals. There's lots of information on these pages and these websites, a lot more that they go into so much more detail than I could personally. I understand it, but to explain it, for me, it's so much better to show you so that you have a chance to be able to look at it, maybe print it out, understand it for yourself, and use this knowledge to help you in your weight loss goals. I know you can do it. I'm doing it. 1 second, one breath, one day at a time. I can do it. So can you. So let's get to it. Let's watch the video, y'all. I hope you enjoy it, and I will talk to y'all again soon. Bye. Hey y'all, this is Margot from the Just Living Life YouTube page. I wanted to show y'all, I've been telling you for a while that I've been on this weight loss journey, and it's had its ups and downs, but I found some pages that I wanted to share with you that might help you with figuring out your daily meals. It's not so much about what you can or can't eat, it's what you substitute for other foods in order to reach your weight loss goals. Now, everybody knows that low carb and keto's been in for a good while, and yes, they do work if that's the type of lifestyle that you and your house, your homestead, your home place it's what you can incorporate into your life. Me personally, with it just being me and my husband, it was very difficult. So I wanted to make life easier for me. Make it easier so that way I can take a lot of the foods that I already eat and make it work so that I can lose weight. Now, the number one thing that I have found for myself is portion control. If you get a bag of chips, or if you get a bag of those rice wisps or whatever they are, if you're anything like me, you might sit down in front of a movie or in front of the TV, or even open it up while you're fixing dinner because you're starving and you don't want to ruin your meal. But you end up doing just that. You're ruining your diet because before you know it, you've eaten half of a bag or even a whole bag. And I personally am guilty. I am so guilty of having done this. These 5 pages and websites will show you just how easy it is to make switches, or real foods that you can use within your daily meals that will help you make it to your weight loss goals. No, this is not a lose weight quick. You're gonna lose 10 pounds by next week. Everybody knows that the scale can be evil. What you should use is a measuring tape and measure yourself. Take the measurements every week and you'll see the difference, because if your house is just a little bit off on the floors, that scale might be a little bit off. You go to the doctor and they weigh you. You've got your shoes on, you've got all your clothes on, But then when you get up in the morning and you weigh yourself, you may only have a t-shirt and a pair of shorts or underwear or whatever, or even just whatever. However you weigh yourself at home is going to be totally different than the way you weigh yourself in an office, or while you're out, or even at a friend's house. You're going to walk in their bathroom, use the restroom, see their scale, whip it out real quick and weigh yourself and go, this thing's got to be wrong, or mine's got to be wrong, because this says I weigh 2 pounds more, or 5 pounds more, or 5 pounds less. My scale's got to be wrong. Maybe not. Maybe theirs is wrong. Maybe the fact that you had eaten Chinese food that helped you, made your body bloat, or some other form of food that had you hold water weight. Maybe you had just drank 2 or 3 bottles of water because you had worked out, you sweated a lot, but then you downed several bottles of water. That's still going to show as water weight until your body regulates itself with the water that you just drank, which means it uses what it needs and expels what it doesn't. So don't use the scale. And I'm guilty, y'all. I am guilty. Don't use the scale as the end-all, be-all for what your weight might be. A perfect example, and I will, hopefully by the end of the week, I'm going to do like a 3-week catch-up video, or 2-week, whatever it is. The last time I had a video about my weight loss was like on the 13th of August. And I was like 208.2. I weighed myself this morning and I was 208.6. But during that time period, I went up as high as 215 and then back down to 209. I was down to 207 and now I'm back up to 208. So the scale can really, really twist your mind, making you think, this is not working, I need to give up. Don't give up. One day at a time, y'all. One step, one breath, one day. Just take it one day at a time, and you will see results. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in a week. It may not even happen the way you expect it to within the next month or 2 months. It may come off extremely slowly at first. Or your body, go to the doctor. Talk to your doctor and find out, do you have any issues with your thyroid? Or do you have any other issues that are causing you to not be able to lose weight? Are you absolutely not able to get up and work out, or are you like me and just don't do it? I could get up on my elliptical and I don't. Honest truth here, y'all, I have not touched the elliptical in 2 or 3 weeks or more, and it's not good. And exercise, everyone knows, is, if nothing else, good for your heart. It gets your blood pumping. It gets your body, it makes your body healthier by using it. The old adage, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Well, that doesn't mean if you don't use the weight, you're going to lose the weight. It means if you don't use your body, you're going to lose your body, and as in lose the ability to use it, the ability to stand up, to move around, to do anything, to walk to your mailbox, or to keep up with your kids, or go on a hike. You don't want that to happen to you, so move your body, even if it's a little bit. Walk in place for 5 minutes, while you're fixing dinner. Walk in place while you're standing at the washing machine. I've done it before, and I can feel how it makes my body feel. And I like it when I do it. And I can say that I have my demons that are evil, and they say, you know, exercise be gone, you know. And that little devil says, ha ha, I win, when I don't work out. And then the little angel is happy and dancing. You know how they always say you have a little devil on one side and an angel on the other? It's just the same. You know, it's your conscious choice on, are you going to force yourself to help yourself be healthier, or are you going to actually do something to make yourself better? Okay, so I've been talking way too long here for y'all. I want to show you here the 5 pages that I think will help you with your weight loss goals. 5 pages and websites. This here is on the nhrmc.org website. It is the low glycemic meal planning doc, and this one in particular shows you the difference here of your low GI foods compared to your moderate and your high. Now, we all know that in order to lose weight, we're wanting to lower the amount of sugar in our diet, but that does not mean that you can't eat real food. And this here is proof. You just have to make sure that you eat in moderation. Make sure that if you don't know what a half a cup is, don't say you do know, because you might use your spoon that you normally would scoop rice out and take a spoon and put it on your plate and say, oh, well, that's probably a half a cup. More than likely, that is going to be at least a cup to a cup and a half. Most of the spoons that you would buy at like Walmart or the dollar store, it will end up, when you scoop it out, it's going to be that much. So in order to get a handle on what a serving is, if a serving is a half a cup of black-eyed peas, or of butter beans, or of summer squash, get out your measuring cups and your spoons and measure for a while till you can really eye how much it is. Without thinking, you'll know. So this page here is really good. It shows you a very detailed list, and it's only 1 page, so it would be something very simple. You can print this out. Just make sure it shows 2 pages here on the left, that when you go to print it, just make sure you customize it just to print the first page, because y'all, I know what it's like. Printing ink is crazy. I have only a black and white printer, so it is helpful, but it is a pain if you're going to print something and it prints out another page. You know, why put yourself through that stress? Just help yourself and watch what you're doing there. So let's go to the next page, which is going to be the glycemic, I think I'm pronouncing that right, index food guide, and it's a PDF, and it is 4 pages, and it starts out, it's a food guide, and it's very good. It's very explanatory. It tells you about the foods that you should choose most often and the ones less often, and the ones that you should choose the least. And then it comes down and it tells you, here you have mixed grain breads, sourdough bread, whole grain tortillas. You have quinoa or quinoa, rice, peas, and popcorn. Eat those foods, y'all. Sweet potato and winter squash. Don't be afraid to eat. This is not about starving yourself. This is about eating real food. And then, of course, you have oats, quick oats. On the low list, you have steel cut oats, an oat bran. On the sometimes list, you have flaxseed, you have pita breads, you have beets, which do contain more sugars, French fries. And then, of course, you have your higher sugar ones, which are breads, puffed wheat cereal, millet, instant potatoes, red potatoes, pretzels. And then it goes through and tells you more about the fruits that you eat. Cantaloupe, honeydew on the low end, watermelon being on the high end, and trust me, watermelon is a favorite of mine. So I have to watch how much I eat of that, but you see the foods that you like, the foods that you might buy, the foods that you eat, and it shows you even milk and meat alternatives. This here again, y'all, is the guidelines.diabetes.ca, and it's the patient under patient resources, and it's the Glycemic Index Food Guide, and it's really good. It's through the Diabetes Canada. I'll make sure I post all the links for these pages in the information box below, and that way y'all can go straight to them and be able to read them or print them out, do for yourself. Here we have a good guide to good carbs, the glycemic index. This is on health.harvard.edu under Health Beat, and then it's a good guide to good carbs, the glycemic index. And I was reading over this and noticed that they talk, it's not a lot, but I believe that, at Harvard, for me, I would hold at a higher level of standard, so that way, yes, they may or may not, move this a little, y'all, they may or may not, know what they're talking about, but I personally want to say they do. And no, there's not as much information on any of the other pages, but I thought, even as simple as it is, they talk about how to choose your glycemic foods, and then they give you a suggestion on choose this instead of that for a few foods, and I believe that could be really helpful, even for something as simple as baked potatoes and pasta. They say instead of cooking pasta till done, cook it al dente. Eat steel cut oats instead of instant oatmeal. Eat brown rice instead of white rice. They may be simple, and you may think, well, I would know that, but do you do that? And that's where it comes into play. Do you actually put these into action for yourself, or do you just read it, see it, and then overlook it, and then wonder why you're not losing weight? If that's what happens, and that's happened for me before, oh, well, yeah, I eat good. I only eat, a little bit of this vegetable, a little bit of that, but I didn't realize that what I was eating, the reason why I wasn't losing weight is because I was keeping my sugar levels so high most of the time that I wasn't allowing my body to do what it wants to do, and that's to get rid of the weight. Now this here is on MedicineNet, medicinenet.com. It's the low glycemic foods list guide, Alright, where were we? I apologize about that. I had somebody stop by. My mom came to visit. Let's see. We are on medicinenet.com, the low glycemic foods list guide. It's article.htm. What is the glycemic index? This website goes into explaining more about what the glycemic index actually is, how it helps with balancing out your weight loss as well as your diabetes. It talks about how some high glycemic foods could help with recovery after exercise, or to aid in recovery from having hypoglycemia. But on the most part, the focus here is about eating the lower glycemic foods, substituting the higher foods for something that's better for us. But looking in our cabinets and going, hey, I have whole wheat cereal, or I can buy a wheat tortilla for the same price as regular tortillas, and you can get it 2 different packs and make it so that it's cheap enough on a household to be able to buy 2 packs, and make it where it's easier to do that. You may not always be able to buy the whole grain breads or pastas. A lot of times they are just as cheap though, so keep that in mind. I have found that the plain yogurt is really good when you add frozen fruit. We'll buy the frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries, whatever we can catch that's at a really decent price in the frozen section for fruits, and I will throw them together, and oh man, let me tell you, it's good. And you could also take some of the almond milk or coconut milk, whichever ones you like the most, or even the skim milk, and stick it in the freezer and let it get really, 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 really cold, if not starting to create some ice. And then take the fruit, frozen fruit, put it in your blender and add your milk, your really cold or frozen-ish milk to it, and mix it up, and you've got like a fruit milkshake. It is so good, and it is one of those things, sometimes it just hits the spot before you go to bed. You know, I like sweets, but I also like my snacks, and that's why I say portion control is very important. Unless you know exactly for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, how much you are eating, measure it out for a while. It's not going to hurt. It doesn't take but a few minutes to separate. I know we're all busy, and you know, some more than others. Take the 5 minutes that it's going to take a bag of chips to separate into 3 or 4 snack bags. Dollar General has the little snack bags for like $2 for like 40 or 50 of them. You can reuse them. Just take and have a snack box or container, and then when you do your snacks, put the little containers in there. I like the mini popcorn chips, the flavored ones, like the chocolate rice cakes, the mini ones, the caramels, and I love popcorn. You know, it might not be always the best snack, but it's low calorie and it satiates me. I get really full really quick, and I get a really, really good snack. I don't feel like I'm leaving something out of my diet, or I can eat some of those little Ritz crisps. You get like anywhere from 15 to 30 per serving, depending on the bag and the calories that's in each serving, the numbers. Separate the chips into the mini bags and grab a bag when you feel like you're going to need a snack when you're doing something, or after you're doing something, or while you're going to be gone. You think you're going to be gone for a couple hours, you might need a snack. If you don't know if you're going to be somewhere where you're going to be able to find something that's going to be on the healthier side for you, take a snack with you. Take a couple snacks with you so you have something to choose from. Because there are just way too many protein bars out there, and breakfast bars, and pretend health bars, that are out there that are not going to do us any good. And it's so confusing. I can spend 15-20 minutes looking at them when I'm in a gas station trying to figure out, all right, which one do I want that's going to be the better choice for me. And if it's one of the bigger gas stations, I can just pick up a cheese stick and a pickle or a cheese stick and some boiled eggs and go with that instead, because a lot of times at least I'll know what I'm eating. The last page I'm going to share with you is the gisymbol.com. This in here is the top tips for low GI living, simple low GI swaps. Now this website has a lot of information, and I didn't know what to share because it just has a lot. I would go to them, the low glycemic index foundation. They have so much information. I would go there and just spend an hour or two reading on what they're talking about, because it really helps. I didn't know what these charisma potatoes were. They are actually an Australian, I think it was Australian potato, that are lower on the glycemic index than regular potatoes or red potatoes. Sweet potatoes are. They talk about which grains to switch, which kind of breakfasts to start with, snackings, what kind of snacks to aim for, combinations, beans. They even talk about quantity control, dairy good, and of course drinking plenty of water throughout the day. So these are just five pages and websites that can really help you. Take one a day, one a week, and go over it and print some of them out and use them to help you have a better chance, and give yourself a hand up. Give yourself a reason to say, I can do this. This is attainable. I am able to do this because this is real food. I'm going to be on the go. I can buy apples or grapefruits, or I like tomato juice, or I love asparagus or artichokes, and I buy them in bulk, and separate them into. You're a single person and you just need to be able to make your meals. Start doing meal prep. On Sundays, if you have an hour, sit down with your meals, cook up some chicken and beef, and throw it in, your lunch and dinner, and then make you a chia breakfast, or get you something else that is going to be a healthy breakfast. Start drinking protein shakes on the go. Make your own sugar-free lattes, and take control of your life. Take control of your weight loss. I appreciate y'all taking the time Now, I know this video is a little bit longer than some of mine recently, but I thought this was really important to share this. 5 pages and websites to help better explain how weight loss is attainable with real food. Thanks for listening, y'all, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye now.